Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome to the French Long Campaign. We started last episode in 1890, and it's now September 1893. Tensions have been rising in Europe, but it hasn't affected me as the French that much. The British and the Germans have been affected and are now at war. I'll talk you through that in a minute. First, the Prime Minister believes that our Navy's crew training level is inadequate. I don't believe so, because I have allocated 100% to crew training. I can say, well, I agree, and I can persuade him to allocate more funds for the Navy at the expense of naval prestige. No. It's also going to cause more unrest. You disagree and convince him that our Navy's crew is more than ready to defend the country. More naval prestige, less unrest. This seems like a good option. You advise him to deal with the government's corruption problems and not interfere in the Navy's procedures. Oof. This is basically telling him to go fuck himself. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Okay. War erupted between the British and the Germans. French-British, 26. French-German, minus 40. We're going to take some hits to reputations and relationships. This means that right now I'm still minus 60, so I'm within a very safe margin of error with the Germans. It's 5 with the Italians. The British are quite liking me right now, despite me not actually joining in the war. So I'm not exactly sure whether this is going to erupt. If it is, I'm going to be in a bit of trouble because I'm still building new ships, but it's going to take a year before they're ready. As for the rest, I got all the Leopard. All of these actually deserve a refit right now. So let's make sure our ships are up to snuff. This is the torpedo boat, the Leopard, refit. You guys are going to get the better expansion engine. You're going to get the induced boilers. You're also going to get the better torpedo tubes. And, well, pitch and roll are still going to be pretty terrible. Propellant, I can give them gun cotton. And I think that's about it. Save that design, and since we're not actively at war, but it is risky, I'm going to overhaul half of my fleet. So we're going to refit those. That is this, refit you through 9. 44,000 a month, it's fine. Heavy cruisers then. I got to keep these guys up to date, and it's something I'm not that used to, weirdly enough. Because I generally don't refit ships in the campaign much. We can get rid of one funnel, we can get rid of a second funnel. Whoops, not gonna get rid of a gun. Wow, we got rid of 2 funnels. Actually, no, it's not quite gonna cut it. 2 mediums? Yes. Look at all that room. Give me an anti-torpedo blister on the ship. Also, give me reinforced bulkheads, please. Give me the 16-inch torpedo, and give me a rangefinder. Coincidence rangefinder is going to be most beneficial to this ship. And as for the rest, I'm not going to upgrade them that much more. I think this is fine. Save the design. What about the lights? How are my light cruisers doing? What have these guys been performing? Refit. Get a better engine. Get a better boiler. That's not quite going to cut it. Enhanced, 48. There. Slightly heavy on the stern. Push this a bit forward. There. And you're going to get a coincidence rangefinder. You're going to get better bulkheads. And I think that's about it. There's not really that much more that I need to do about these light cruisers. I think they're fine. And if I eventually get better upgrades, sure, I will apply them. But right now, not so much. Oh, actually, how about the Harvey armor? Should have done that on the other designs as well, but I forgot. Hold on, did I do that on the new battleship class, the Heroine? Please tell me yes. Shit. Ah, that's unfortunate. Okay, well, they're going to have to get refit the moment they come out of dry dock. Which is going to take me another year or so. Okay, let's start refitting the lights. Just the entire fleet. And let's start refitting the heavies. At least some of them. The first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go. It's going to cost me a pretty penny at 2 million a month. Refitting is going to take 1 month for the torpedo boats, 6 months for the light cruisers, 7 months for the heavy cruisers. Let's reduce spending on this a bit. I'm still growing. I have 120% capacity, so I got way more than I actually need. But I don't want to skimp on research too much. Okay, this should do it. Now, let's see what the Germans and the British have. 13 British battleships versus 13 Germans. 25, 24 heavy cruisers. 29, 51 CLs. But the real punch of the British could come out of the torpedo boats. 65 torpedo boats versus 25 for the Germans. This should be interesting to watch. A few months into the war, the British are down to 53 torpedo boats. The battleships seem very intact. Well, maybe not intact. They might be damaged, but at least they haven't lost any. Some of the torpedo boats have been sunk, and the Germans are doing better than the British. This is interesting. Let's see how their economies are doing. The British have a negative GDP growth, that is. The Germans have a 1.5%. It's not that bad. Mine is still 3.5%, so my economy is growing quite nicely. It's pretty much on par with the Italians. It's less than, well, it's a little over half the British, and it's far less than the Germans, so I still have a lot of catching up to do, which I currently am doing. And if I can keep this up, I might be able to catch up with the German economy eventually. After some additional research, we have now acquired Krupp Armor 1. Minus 25% armor weight, plus 75% armor strength. It also will make the armor more expensive. Now, it's still a bit of a luxury issue because I'm getting a lot of research done almost faster than I can refit my ships. I am still refitting some of my battleships, the Solferino and the Languedoc. These are the original Charles Martel class, but I now have an 1894 refit. The Charles Martel had been refitted in 1891 and only took a few months. The Solferino and Languedoc took longer. The other battleships are going to come out in 1 month, after which they can immediately be refit with better armor and potentially other systems that I might find. Now, what else do I need? Big guns is nice. It's going to give me 11-inch guns, Mark II. Thinking of investing some more in propellant and potentially just bigger ship designs overall, like ship hull strengthening and hull construction. I first want to get the big guns complete, so the next tier, and then I'm going to swap over one of the priorities. The war, in the meanwhile, is still going in favor of the Germans, at least victory points wise. Their fleets have taken a bit of a beating. I believe that the British have just lost 2 battleships versus 1 for the Germans, I think. Their torpedo boat fleet is still suffering, but more importantly, their economies are suffering quite a bit. The British Empire is minus 1.2%, the Germans are minus 0.6%, and they are still, they're repairing a whole lot of ships. The British are also repairing a whole lot of ships, but they're building 35, and the Germans are not. So eventually, this could give the British a deciding factor in the war. Also, note how negative the relations are with the rest of the countries here. If the British continue to build tensions with the Austro-Hungarian Empire, they might be at war on 2 fronts. For some reason, the Italians keep swinging negative. For myself, it's still a +5. But both Germany and Austria-Hungary are slowly declining. And I still have a pretty small fleet of 38 ships +4. Quick overview of the new refit for the Heroine class. These ships were designed with Harvey armor, which has now been superseded by Krupp 1 armor. Aside from that, I don't really have any really useful upgrades for them, aside maybe from advanced hydraulic turrets, which especially this guy is going to benefit from, because currently it has a turret rotation speed of 3.3 degrees per second. With advanced, that increases to 3.85. This means I can swing the turret on target a bit faster. I can also get gun cotton, and I have white powder for more accuracy, more gun range, and more pen, as well as less shell weight. Aside from that, I don't think there are any useful upgrades for this particular ship, So let's set this thing up to be refit. Just checking everything. Yeah, that's fine. And those 4 battleships just completed. Right back into dry dock you go. Because we're going to refit you again. And this is probably going to be happening quite a lot throughout the campaign. 63,000 victory points for the Germans, 59,000 for the Brits, but the Germans now have 71 ships versus the British 84. Their torpedo boat numbers are going back up, and this means that they might be able to take some strikes at the battleships if it wasn't for the fact that 30 light cruisers are still very much protecting the German battleships. They're very much getting in the way of all those torpedo boats. Now, this seems to have been a long time coming. The Italian Empire's head of Admiralty has been replaced. His recent failures and overall poor management must have been the cause. I'm not sure what happened to the Italians. Their economic growth is insane at 8.5%. Mine's even better. The British and the Germans are still at war, but their economy seems to be recovering. And, well, my naval budget's starting to get a bit more on par with the Germans. Sorry, the Italians' naval budget. My naval budget is 23 million versus 52 for them. The Italians have 164 ships. They're building another 16 and they're refitting 33. That's expensive. Maintaining and running all that is really, really expensive. Also note how everybody but myself seems to be running low on crew. They have a crew pool of 1. So essentially, everybody who could be put on a ship is on a ship, as opposed to my 14,500 sailors which are standing by. But then again, I only have 42 ships. These guys have 4 times my size. I'm still keeping an eye on the Austro-Hungarian ships. They have 158. But I'm not quite sure when to get a new ship. Because I keep researching new shit. What I'm trying to do now is get better hull strengthening, as well as hull construction, so I can speed that up. And let's swap this away so I can get this done even faster. When that is done, I will start building an additional ship, because my relationships are, well, they're not as bad. Actually, it's a bit less than I thought with the Austro-Hungarians. I thought it was worse than that. Continuing. After some additional research, and I have the multiple expansion steam engine 2 for even more horsepower per ton, but more importantly, I now have longitudinal strengthening of hull girder 1. This is going to allow me to get the battleship 3, 4, and 5. Let's go build a new battleship. Or at least design one, and then we're going to build one. That is, if my shipyard's big enough. I've been trying to keep up with the upgrades to shipyards, but apparently the battleship 4 is as good as it's going to get. I currently can get up to 15,500, which compared to the Heroine class is quite a bit larger. These ships displace 11,004 out of 12,001 relative to this 15,005 on these new battleships. So, a new main tower, a front tower goes there, secondary tower goes there. How do you put guns on this thing? What do I got? I got the Mark II, Mark II. The 12-inch is still Mark 1. This is Mark 1, this is Mark 2. Okay, 13-inch Mark 2 it is. No. Oh, my pitch. My poor pitch. Give these things more barrel length. 20%. Of course that won't fit. No. Too big. Upping beam probably isn't going to help. I just need more room. I don't have that. I'm not liking this hull. I'm really not. Give me this hull. Is that going to be more useful? Because these 13-inch guns, nah, they're probably still way too big for what I actually need them to do. Come on. Main guns, centerline guns, 13-inch, go, sit. Nah, that's not going to fit. Fine, battleship 4. Smaller guns, I guess. Because the large guns simply don't fit. And then I would like to get the Mark IIs, so that leaves me with the 11-inch guns. One here. Corvette, yes. Better armor. Multiple expansion steam engine induced. I can't upgrade anything there. I don't need all this range. I'm not going to go all the way to, I don't know, the US. Seems to be a bit far away. We have the stereoscopic rangefinder 2 at this point, which is nice. More gun aiming speed. I'm going to tandem that with 20% length on these guns, giving them, at 5,000 meter range, a pretty respectable 6% chance to hit. At 1,000 meter range, it's already up to 50%. We are starting to get results. Reload, however, 71 seconds. So let's make these big shells. Make sure they hit hard. Increased AP, Citadel, yes please. Reinforced bulkheads. And what else? Well, a funnel would be nice, I suppose. Is that it? Wow. These funnels are pretty terrible. Two of them is enough. What am I going to do with all this space? This is so much room. What am I going to do with all this space? I could put 3,000 tons worth of armor on there, but that seems excessive. Any way I could put a secondary gun anywhere? Yeah, on those plateaus. How about the 8-inch? Everything else is Mark 1 anyway, so... Oh, actually... No, we got the 2-inch Mark 2. No, let's go for the 8-inch. Let's see if that'll fit. No. 7? Yes. Not there, though. 0.9% 4 weight offset is something I can manage. Let's make these things long as well. 20% bonus. 15-inch front-facing armor. 15-inch there. 4 and 4. 2-inch on the superstructure. Give me 20-inch on the conning. Oh, that's top. Advanced hydraulic turret rotation. I think this is a pretty nice upgrade relative to the battleships we've had so far. 3-inch main deck. How large is the Citadel? Oh, Jesus, the Citadel is almost the entire ship. Thanks to these turrets. Oof. Not a big fan of that. We're going to carry a standard ratio for the secondary guns, because I think that these 7-inchers could be useful both in AP and HE roll. Let's upgrade gun cotton and white powder. I still have a lot of displacement left. I mean, I could go for 30 inches of armor. Okay, maybe not. But it's just overkill. 20 inches plus 78% versus, at worst, a 13-inch gun. It's just going to get stopped. So I don't need this much. But building a faster ship... Big it just doesn't fit. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this design. The Diderot. Let's go build a few. Because we're starting to really fall behind when it comes to the rest of the European fleets. Give me 4 of those. Let's see. 84,000 British victory points. 94,000 German victory points. What are you guys up to? How's your war? They're building 29 ships. 34 for the Brits. They're repairing 20 and 21. 3 task forces, 3 task forces. This can still go on for a while. No idea who's going to win this fight. The year is now March 1897. The British and the Germans have been at it for quite a while. I now have 11 battleships. The Germans have 6. I smell weakness. Now, I'm not exactly at war with the Germans, but I could be if I would want to. Because I believe that if you push your fleet towards an enemy port, and you just kind of park it there, then you can spark even greater tension. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my battleships, well, essentially the entire fleet from here, and start grouping it in the North Sea. That's the fleet from Le Havre. I'm going to get the rest of the battleships also involved from La Rochelle. You guys are also going to go here. And the Mediterranean fleet's probably not going to be that useful. At least not when it comes to fighting the Austro-Hungarians. because I'm not actively fighting them at the moment. So that means I can push the battleships from Marseille also. Yep, these 3. All the way over. The Charles Martel, the Diderot, and the Patrie. You guys are also going to join there. It's going to take them probably a pretty good while to get there. I'm not sure exactly how long. But I'm going to group this fleet here. And I'm going to start pissing off the Germans. And let's see if I can spark a war. Kick the Germans. And then not only ally with my British friends, or at least by the time that they will hopefully see what I'm doing, they'll ally me. But also take potentially one of the provinces from the Germans. While I am pissing off the Germans, and that is working, I'm going to work on a new torpedo boat to design, because I have received quite a few upgrades for these. I can give them a better engine, and I can make them as large as 500 tons. If I can make these about 30 knots, and I can make them sleek, I can make them fast, and I can give them the new 17-inch dual launcher on the torpedo. If this works, these things are going to be capable of lashing out at a battleship and potentially sinking them extremely swiftly. Engine efficiency 98%, I'm willing to accept that. They are pure gunboats, torpedo boats. They're not going to go with large guns. They're not going to get the same barrel upgrade that the other ships get. Holy crap, we're still bow heavy? It's probably because of the Citadel, if you want to call it that. These ships are still hard to balance. Look at this. I'm still a 100% forward offset. I mean, larger torpedoes on the stern, yeah? 17-inch. This is going to give them additional weight, additional torpedo damage by 30%, but also additional dot chance. So that is the trade-off. Everything else, I'm not really going to upgrade. Yeah, no, I think this is fine. Range is not important, not a factor. Balancing this thing out, though. The fuck? Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Now it's starting to go down at least a little bit. After weight offset's going up. Good. Now we're getting somewhere. Forward weight offset's going up. Up. Yes. Apparently you gotta push the engine all the way into the back in order to make this work. Nope, it's a bit much. There. 0.5. Pitch, 51%. It's pretty bad. But I like this. Because it means I can kick a enemy battleship right in the groin with 8 17-inch torpedoes. This is going to leave a mark. Now I do wonder, the torpedo rotation speed is 9.6 degrees per second. Yeah. Turret rotation... Oh, sorry, that's going to reload. Close enough stealth. Yeah, it doesn't impact it. Electric turrets versus hydraulic turrets does not impact torpedo tubes. Okay. So, we got a new hunter class. We're going to need a new animal to go with this, because these previous ones were the Leopard. Let's see, these are the Jaguar. Save the design. Let's crank out a few of those. Far more expensive than previous, but that's fine. Because the enemy battleships are also more expensive than previous. Look at this. I started out with a battleship worth 6.9 million. My battleships are now 16 million each. They also displace somehow vastly more than 15,000 tons. No, they don't. Okay. Game is still weird. Let's get 10 more torpedo boats. Now, my tensions with the Germans are on the rise. And this is exactly what I was hoping for. Because simply by having a large presence out here, 10 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, 1 light, and 7 torpedo boats, I am essentially pissing off the Germans. We're going to invade. We're just going to invade. No, this does not mean I'm invading Germany yet. But at the very least, it will increase their annoyance with me. They're building more ships, but they are... There we go, minus 3.7. How bad is it now? French... Here. Minus 87, we're getting there. My economy is still growing with 12% a year. The German economy is shrinking by 1.5% per year. Their GDP is 4.1 billion. Mine is 6.8 billion. Somehow, though, their naval budget still exceeds mine. Maybe because we're at war. Well, they're at war and we're not. So that's about to change. Here we go. The German Empire increases its navy budget considerably. How should we respond? I'd say our naval budget is good. Sufficiently strong. We don't need to increase our naval expenditure. It's going to cost me naval prestige and increase unrest. I don't like either. Naval budget's already too high. We need to invest more in the country's economy. More GDP. No. We're also going to do it. I want to push the Germans to the brink of war. Because they now have 5 battleships, 13 heavy cruisers, 21 CLs, and 18 TBs. That does mean I'm going to need a couple more heavy cruisers to join my fleet. And light cruisers, because I want to be protected in case the Germans attack with their torpedo boats. The German Empire is threatening us that they will declare war on us if we do not show a sign of reducing the tension against their country. Haha. They ask from us to invest a portion of our naval funds on their own industry as a sign of goodwill. Fuck that. We should gather the press to announce that we are mobilizing our forces to prepare for a war breakout as a response to the continuous harassment of the German Empire. Naval prestige plus 15. We can give them an amount. 12. I'm not paying the Germans anything. Hell no. Fuck you and your war. The French and Germans are now at war. This means that my relationships with the British have gotten a boost. The French versus Italians have taken a hit, with the Austro-Hungarians have taken a hit. And of course the Germans and the Italians are becoming better friends, and same for the Germans and the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So, we are at war. Interesting. Let's have a fight. Oh, by the way, this also increased my monthly budget by a lot. I suppose that now the politicians are going, let's increase the naval budget. Look at that. 27 million for the Germans, 49 million for me. They still have no crew pools to speak of, although the Austro-Hungarians do. 178 ships, Jesus. We're going to need a bigger ship. We're going to need a bigger gun, and we're going to need a bigger fleet. Give me more Jaguars. Because what I'm essentially trying to do is eliminate their battleships and thereby blockade Germany, pushing them even further into an already crashing economy. Because their economy is shrinking by 1.2 and mine is still growing by 11%. My GDP is now far greater than that of the Germans. I can also invest a bit more into research, considering I now have this vast naval budget. Research continuously on hull construction and hull strengthening, as well as internal protection. I'm going to keep my ships alive at all cost. Relations with the British have reached a point where an alliance seems possible. Diplomats from the British Empire are asking to sign a special trade agreement which will be non-profitable for our nation, but will strengthen further relations. What are your thoughts? Investing relations on the British will be a bigger reward. We should accept. Whoa! That's expensive, dude. 24 million cash? But I get plus 30 relations with the Brits. Or the British show their true colors, trying to take advantage of our goodwill. No, we should never accept such terms. We are a powerful and proud nation, and we do not need such friends. No, I think the British are going to be useful. Here's your money. Alliance has been signed. Repair party, very nice. Are the Germans just repairing all their ships or something? Where's the German fleet? No, they're not repairing anything. Hello? Invade. High repair priority for this fleet. Piss off the Germans some more, shall we? Fight something. And fight something we will. For some reason I'm now at war with the Italians. I suspect that this is because of the apparently newly found alliance between the Germans and the Italians. This means that my fleet in the North Sea is now grossly out of position because I have very little defending the entire Mediterranean. This is going to make my life a bit interesting. I have the heavy cruisers Maria Teresa, Veloce, and Spada torpedo boat coming at me. Torpedo tube, single, 6.2 inch guns. My guns are 6 inch. Let's do it. We're going to fight some Italians. Coast alarm. Finally, some action. What do we have, and where do we have it? My crews have been at high crew training for so long that they're all veteran. The torpedo boat is the Leopard T8 with the torpedo tube, both port and starboard. These are the 16-inch torpedo tubes. Okay. And let's see, the light cruiser Armorique. 4-inch guns, 2-inch guns, and torpedo tubes. I have to sort of reacquaint myself with my ships, because it's been a while since I designed these guys. Look at that. That's a nice graphic. I think the French flag should be bigger, but whatever. Okay. You're going to join me. You're going to follow. No, actually you're going to scout. Just don't torp anything. Torpedo range is 1.2. I very much wonder how much we can hit. Enemy's been spotted to the east. Let's wait for the enemy. Found him. Heavy cruiser sighted. 4.5 kilometers out. Sorry, 4.6. We have... Whoa, we got a good firing solution. 7.5%, 8.5% on the 5-inchers. That is very respectable. Very respectable. Engage. Engage, engage, engage. I don't think they sighted me yet. The chance to pen me is pretty good. But so far, they haven't even seen me yet. Come on, guys. Make an effort. Oh, they've seen the torpedo boat now. Yeah, I'm not going to attack yet. Hard to starboard. Turning circle exists, but is huge. It's too heavy. No, I have to attack. It's too heavy cruisers. I cannot keep these guys alive. Oh boy. Leopard taking quite a few hits. I hope that the maximum bulkheads are going to keep this thing alive. There's the Veloce. Veteran crew. 23%? Christ, that's really good. Torpid. Starboard launcher, please tell me it's not been destroyed yet. Go on. Torpedo away. Now, oh, good hit. Who did that? 4-inch hit from the torpedo boat caused the explosion of a torpedo launcher. Wow. That's unfortunate for you. Keep in mind, it is version 1.06. Torpedoes can be duds. Torpedoes can simply change course on a whim. You never quite know what a torpedo is going to do. Oof. My torpedo also just got detonated. And the Veloce took so much damage that she reduced speed by a lot. And is now... Why are we attacking this? Is now just parked, essentially. She's dead in the water. Good hit with the Tempest. What's your torpedo range? 0.9. No torpedoes left. Oh, they all exploded. Right. They all exploded. Okay. How expensive are you? 1.7 million. Pretty cheap. Oh dear. I'm gonna lose a torpedo boat. First casualty of the war. The Leopard T8. Turn, Tempest. Slow down a bit. Come on, sink the Veloce. Standard bulkheads. She is going to be resilient to flooding, but not that much. 6% chance to pen. It's pretty atrocious. Buoyancy hovering around 20%, 19%. There's their torpedo boat. She's already taken some hits. 54% chance to hit? I'm not sure if you're going to see these levels of accuracy when the 1.06 beta comes out, or when the full version of 1.06 comes out. This seems a bit high. No, I don't need you to overtake the flagship, thank you. Sink the Veloce. Do it now. The Tempest is taking quite a bit of damage. And these guys got a bit more armor than I do. Armor quality 38. 38. The Veloce is down. Well done. Do not dodge. We're going to go right for the Maria Teresa. My torpedo range is better than theirs. They got one torpedo? So reduced complement. Yeah. Okay. Oh crap, the ship is taking lots more damage than I was hoping for. Put the secondary guns on the Spada. And the Armorique. Right for the Maria Teresa. Where are your torpedo tubes situated? Port and starboard. Okay. All of a sudden the Maria Teresa starts moving again. Torpedo away from the Armorique. Hard to port. The Tempête has taken on a lot of water and is going to be out of action for a while. This is not good. Starboard launcher, please. Starboard launcher away. Torpedo failed. Immediately exploded upon contact with the water. Hey, at least the Spada is down. Good. Good, good, good. Okay. What's the Maria Teresa gonna do now? My heavy cruiser is badly damaged, but not out of the fight. It's just gonna be difficult to actually do damage against that cruiser. Oh, I stand corrected. Some of these shells went through very nicely. Maria Teresa with her stern launch... No, Armorique with her stern launcher launches a torpedo at Maria Teresa. The torpedo deviates from its course and passes behind the Maria. Oh no. Armorique, back, 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 back. Maria Teresa is taking a pounding from the Tempête. She will lose this fight. Pretty badly. She's flooding and she seemingly has no way to stop it. Do these ships... No. I have researched anti-flooding systems, but I haven't upgraded all my cruisers yet. So right now, the Tempête does not have any options to cancel out floodings. At least not as much as I would like. You okay there, Armorique? Yeah, she's fine. Chance to pen with the Armorique with her 4-inch guns is pretty good. Come on, she's down to 6-7% buoyancy. Full pen. Come on. Over pen. Come on. Hope the bow launcher's reloaded. Torpedo away from Armorique. We're going to cycle through the torpedo tubes. That means we're going to turn to starboard. Port launcher to bear. But the Maria Teresa might turn enough to make that useless. Although... No, that could hit. Or it could not. Crap. Another torpedo on the way. Maria Teresa is still in the turn. The torpedo is a dud. Crap. That was useless. She's still suffering flooding. She's down to 3%. Stern launcher on the Armorique. Torpedo away. The torpedo seems to be fairly well... Nope. Apparently plot armor for the Maria Teresa as the torpedo deviates from its course. Good lord. Torpedoes are so unreliable. 1%. Yeah, she's going down. Only cost me 1 torpedo boat to sink 2 heavy cruisers and a torpedo boat of theirs. And with that, we have the first victory of the war. We suffered a first blood, but we sunk 2 heavy cruisers, gaining me 1174 victory points versus 118 for the Italians. I like where this is going. Alright, buddy. Why are we at war with the Italians? Are they in an alliance or something? Yep, they got 100 with the Germans. But I'm only minus 87 with the Italians. Why am I at war? Probably because they're in an alliance. Oh, and they're engaging me everywhere. Oh no. Well, that's going to make episode 3 quite a bit more action-packed than the first 2 episodes. Hope you guys are enjoying the campaign. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and I'll see you soon for the next one.